Jimmy's Jam Box. Keep jamming. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode. Jimmy's Jam Box. We're back at it again, and we're going to get on into it. But before we do, as always, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. With that being said, let's go ahead and get on into it. Here is today's guest.
How you doing, baby? It's Funkavelli.
Hello.
How we doing?
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, baby.
Yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about where you're from, what you do, give us that like Tinder profile of your involvement with music.
I started about 20 years ago, was a rapper from Portland, Oregon. And then I just landed on the funk, baby, and just been funking out ever since, putting the fun in funk, having a good time. That's what it's about.
Oh, yeah. And about how long ago did you transition into mostly funk?
About 5 years ago.
Okay.
5 years ago, I took a break, didn't know what I wanted to do with the music. And then, like I said, just the funk fell in my lap and we just been running with it ever since.
Oh, yeah. And what got you into music initially?
My dad's from Barbados, so
Okay.
I grew up on that reggae. That's the first music I ever heard was reggae music, and my brother played me hip hop, stuff like that, and I fell in love, and then I just wanted to, be an artist, but I didn't know nobody who could make beats, so I just started making my own beats, and
Okay.
on free loops. I've been doing free loops for about 20 years, so I just fell in love with music, and so like I said, it's been, like I said, been a journey, but we're here.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now, just right from the start, who were some of your early like inspirations or like people that you would listen to frequently?
Of course, I got to add the Rick James,
Mm-hmm.
some James Brown, Sherelle, just like, Keith Sweat, anything with some bop in it, baby.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
All good music, like I said, it's all about positive vibes, positive energy, but, I just love all music, but those were like, my main, like I said, besides Bob Marley,
Yeah.
but, other than that, those gave me that pop to do what I do.
Oh, yeah. And then just a couple more foundation questions before we get into the you, here, and now. This is one we ask early. It's one we ask often, and it's definitely a crowd favorite. What was one of the first albums you ever bought with your own money?
Ooh. Funny. I was in 5th grade. I had no business buying I Want to Sex You Up.
Okay.
Hey, 5th grade, color me bad, baby. I want to sex you up.
Okay.
5th grade, but that was the first, my mom, she understood that I wasn't influenced by the music like that. So she I loved, so she didn't mind, was a 5th grader buying stuff like that. But, that was honestly the first song I got.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was one of the first shows you ever went to? That was like one you wanted to go to.
Ooh. I'm gonna tell you, the first show I went to, and probably wasn't the one I wanted to go to, but my sister took me to Bobby Brown and R. Kelly.
Okay.
It's when we were playing the Bulls in the finals that year, I want to say, and Bobby Brown must have turned around and mooned the whole crowd, talking about, F the Bulls. Michael Jordan turned around and mooned the whole crowd, so that was an experience within itself. But when I became a teenager, I think, show my age, it was the Jay-Z Hard Knock Life tour.
Okay.
That was the one that, I got to see DMX and everybody. I remember sitting there just, going word for word with DMX, so just that was the one that I just like, I got to go to and just always remember, was that one.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I bet that was amazing.
That was everything, like I said, to catch those artists in their prime moments, at the same time. I think it was, I remember walking in, it was Method Man and Redman up there, and they just dangling from up top, And then I would say, Jay-Z, DMX. I got to see a lot of good artists, but that was the one that stood out the most.
Oh, yeah. And that was such a strong time for the music. You know what I mean? Like there was definitely something happening there.
Oh yeah, no, it was in the air. That's when artists like look at DMX. 2 back-to-back albums, multi-platinum. You know, that's
Mhm.
when people were actually going to the store and
Yeah, putting their
buying
hands on it.
physical copies. You
Yeah.
know, I'll never forget. I went to the Lois in there and got Mace first album, right? And
Mhm.
go up in there and I bought it, and they didn't have a CD in there.
Oh.
And I came back and said, "Hey, where's my Mace?" You know, I didn't. So you know, that was a time when you could go to the stores, the mom and pop stores, and get these CDs and be able to just sit down and just dig deep. You know, now I think it's just like forward. You know, nobody's really taking the time to digest music like it should be.
Yeah. Well, if it makes you feel better, I think it was last year, records outsold CDs for the first time.
Mm.
Yeah. And records are actually like coming back in kind of an interesting way. I think people understand tangibility now. I think for a while we as a society moved so far towards portable that suddenly you could just taking it anywhere meant it didn't need to be special anyway.
Yeah.
To at least to some extent. I know that's not everybody's opinion, and it's definitely not shared by all. But I think that's kind of where we moved for a while, and that's why I think records are coming back, because people actually like to be able to hold things, and if you're going to purchase something tangible, it should sound good, and records sound good.
Yeah, it's the nostalgic side of it too. You
True.
know, it's putting that needle on the record and
it's a commitment. It's a commitment.
Yeah.
When you put it down, you're like, most people don't select somewhere in the record. They start from the beginning,
and you got to let it go to the end. So
Yep.
like you said, it takes you back to that. You know, like I was saying earlier, just like most of the time, people just like play a song for 30 seconds and skip it.
Yeah, and they're like, that's it.
You got to sit there and listen to the whole thing and just like, okay, well, that line right there was amazing. I like that song right there.
Yeah,
so,
and sometimes a song doesn't make sense if you hear it out of context. Like when you like Feel Good Inc. as a single, everybody loves it. But what you don't realize, if you go and listen to the album, El Mañana, the song that comes on after, that's the song. You know what I mean? That song is powerful. And the two music videos even go into each other. They're like meant to happen together. And it's just, if you don't listen to the two in order, it's not as powerful. But like, if you only listen to Feel Good Inc., you're like, oh, this is a bop. And then if you only listen to El Mañana, you're like, oh, this is sad. But you hear them both and you're like, oh, there's a story.
It goes, yeah. And that's why I do my best to try to, when I'm recording, I try to, it's nothing like that first song on the album when you play. So I try to make every song be that first song.
Yep.
So even if you own song number 3, I want that to feel like that was the first song on the album.
I love that.
That's always the special thing about music. Like I said, it's just when you put that album on a CD, whatever you do, but when you get that first song, that's the one that's like put you in the driver's seat and it's going to take you down the lane and have you feel it. So that's for me. It's like I want every song to hit you. Like me, when I perform, it's like you may not hear this, when you listen to it, but when you see it live in person, you're like, oh, okay, it makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
Well, actually, that's perfect opportunity for us to transition into you as the artist. Let's get to know you as the here and now, and we're gonna get the easy one out of the way. How did you pick your name?
Ooh, when we was coming up, part of a group called the Solar System, we were all sitting there coming with names, and like I said, of course, we was going with the funk, so I had to put the funk up front, and I'm a big Tupac, so I had to have my Velli, so the Funkavelli, for Machiavelli. So, just like that was my homage to him, but at the same time, it's just like that was where originated from. Is just we was all sitting down. I was like, Funkavelli, then I added the laugh, and then it just took off from there.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Yes, sir.
And now let's talk about your writing process. And I want to focus on a few key points, but we're going to start right at the beginning. When you get inspired, so you're already ready to make music, the music is inside you, it needs to come out. Do you have things that you do at the beginning every time, or do you just kind of just wing it?
I just wing it, So I'm at home cooking up in the studio, and a beat comes on, and if I feel it, I'm just right there. I'm writing the hook, and the verses, and I just try to lay it, as quick as possible. Not quick as possible. I want to get that feeling out, just that bop, I just want to get that feeling out, And so I just usually I'm making a beat, and when it hits me, I'm like, oh, that's it. And then I just I go into my little zone and, just talk my talk. Bring that phone.
Now, when you perform, do you perform with a group or do you perform just to beats?
Just the beats.
Okay.
Just the beats.
Okay. And now, what is that like? Because, funk is so deep rooted in like, the bass guitar and like the groove with the drums and things like that. How do you continue to keep the funk in it, so to speak? Do you play a lot of those instruments yourself? Do you mostly program it? Like, how do you go about creating that sound as your own individual?
Yeah, I mean, it's with the kicks and the bass line.
Okay.
Some songs I got, some 808s, but it's, I try to keep it a little old school with a new school feel. Like I was saying earlier, I don't want to, take away from that, but still add this, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And combine those two and just be me. I think music is art, and however you feel it. But I just, like I said, I just try to put that bop. As soon as if I could just.
Yeah,
that's what I know. That's what we know. We got to go.
As long as it's funky, it's
as long as it's funky, like I said. So you're there, and that's why I always ask you, smell that? That's the funk.
Oh yeah. And then how long would you say it takes for you to get to a point once the song is finished? So you've written the song, it's written. How long would you say it takes to get from there to being able to perform a song comfortably?
Ooh, soon. As soon as I sit up to somebody to master it, I'm ready. Sometimes some songs, I'm not gonna lie, when I get up there and perform, I gotta fill it out. But by the second time, I done gave it everything. I give it everything, but it's just like, okay, how I'm gonna do this move? Am I gonna stand there? Am I gonna fall there? Am I, gonna walk around? So just like practice makes perfect. So just always saying that. So yeah, as soon as I try to get them out there to the person to master it. I try to put them out there and see what people like, what they gravitate towards, and I see it's that up tempo, like I said, bop that everybody likes to see and have fun with it.
Gotcha. So you'll usually start performing it while it's getting ready to get finished up. And do you feel like that generates like a cool amount of attention so that when it's ready to go, people are already like, we want to hear this.
Yeah.
Like other than at shows.
Yeah. No, definitely, and just that's me just like gauging what the crowd's going to do.
Gotcha.
What songs is the one that they, they perk up like, what is that? And how they coming from the back of the, they could be out there talking and then that one song come on and they jump up and come.
Okay.
Or the thing with me, I'm going to come to you. If I see you sitting down, I'm gonna come to you and I'm gonna be in your face. Hey, it's Funkavelli, baby. So yeah, like I said, putting the fun and funk, so just like I just love music, and whenever I, get a chance to perform, that's what it's about.
Oh yeah.
I leave everything on the floor, like I never know what anybody's going through. So if in that moment we could let everything go and we're on the spaceship together, that's why I call the dance floor. That's why I call the stage, the ship. So you hear me a lot of times referencing the ship. I'm talking about the dance floor. It's all me. It's about getting you out your seat and on your feet, and just having a good time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then I had this thought in my head. I didn't want to run away from it too long. Will you use the crowd reaction to decide if you'll like release a song as a single or on an album?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely, like
if everybody's vibing to it super hard, do you usually like save it for an album, or are you like, no, this has to be a single? What decides where it goes, I guess, is kind of what I want to know.
Yeah, like I got this song called So Funky. And I remember the last time I performed it, just the way, and the thing with me, I always go back and watch my performances like game film. And I'm like, man.
People should always record their performance.
Always try to,
especially if you could do it with your phone now. Like, it's so accessible.
Yeah.
Have somebody hold it, be like, hey, I'll buy you a drink, just film my set.
Yeah.
Like, it's that easy. But being able to watch yourself back it's such a useful aspect that not a lot of people do.
Yeah, so I catch myself, and people don't know, like in the beginning, I was so shy. You wouldn't know it when I get on stage, though. Like, that's why I wear my glasses now, in the beginning. It's like, because my eyes used to be closed up there, I'd be so shy, but over time.
Hendrix used to play with his eyes closed.
Hey, literally, my eyes be closed, and I see myself bumping into people, because I just be into like, boop, boop. So, now I go back and watch, and I'm like, man, they were really feeling that song. Everybody's dancing, I'd be so into the moment that sometimes I'm not paying attention because I'm in my own zone that, like I said, I go back and watch the film, and I'm like, oh man, they were saying those lyrics back. This is the first time they heard this song, and they're repeating it back to me. This guy's over there dancing, or these people got their cameras out. So yeah, I definitely love to go back and watch it, and it's good, good and fun to go back and watch, those performances over. And just like to me, it's what can I do better the next time? I want to always give everything, you know.
I think a healthy approach to think of too is just what you can do different. You know what I mean? Like you can do great. You can have a great set, a great show. You can run it 3 to 5 times, and then it could just be. You could change it. Like people don't have to stay in the same process. Like your performance can change frequently. Like I knew some bands that they would never play the same set twice, and that forced them to have to write regularly enough that they didn't have to play. Like, eventually if you only have 5 songs, they're going to end up in the same order after so many plays. So like if you're always adding to it, you're always changing it. And that's just kind of a cool way to approach it.
And it is. I like that. You see me, I'm like,
Yeah.
That sounds good, but yeah, you just got to keep, I always tell people, work on your catalog. Just do you, don't worry about what nobody else is doing. That's the whole thing about Funkavelli. You see a guy up here with a wig on, cape, light up shoes, red gloves and all that, and I'm just basically just saying, do you. Don't care what nobody got to say. If it makes you happy, do it, and it's with anything, going double back earlier, it's art. It's your art. Whether you want to be the best toothpick person to put the toothpick display together, just be passionate about it. And I think you'll have opportunities, and when that door opens, just be ready for it, stay ready so you ain't got to get ready.
That's such an important aspect. I used to work with this guy named Dragon. This is a little Jimmy backstory. And he was always just doing such a good job. And everybody was like, how are you always doing such a good job? You're so lucky. Like, why does, and he's just like, I'm prepared to be lucky. Like you can't be lucky. That's impossible to control, but you can create the most opportunities to let it happen. You know what I mean? If you give 0 chances to miss it, you're going to at least have the widest opportunity possible.
Definitely. Like I said, you never make a shot you never take.
Exactly. Wayne Gretzky and Michael Scott.
So one thing is I never know who's watching. It's been times where I'd have performed, it was just me and a few people, but I'm going to perform up there like it's 10,000 people. So when the next opportunity comes, where if I have more people, they'll get that same, energy. Yeah, exactly. And, that I've been working on this whole time, and just, like I said, just not, just trying to be perfect and just, like I said, just bring it, and hopefully inspire somebody else to do what they want to do and, look at me like, I could do that too, in my own way, whether it's funking out or they want to rap or, like I said, if you want to do the toothpicks, just do it, and just have 0 regards, just step out on faith, not to go biblical or anything, but that's that, excuse me, walking on water. Yeah. Just close your eyes and total faith and just everything's going to work itself out for you in the end, I don't do this for money. I do it because I love it.
Yeah.
And the joy that I see when people enjoy when I'm up there and when they come up to me and say, man, I love it. Money can't buy that, so that's
true.
If all that happens, then I'm with it. But I enjoy getting on stage and just bringing it every time.
Oh yeah. And actually that's kind of a cool segue into this next one, because that's how people respond and things like that. But what is it about your sound that you enjoy at the moment? Like, look at your current sound. What are some aspects that you think really stand out to like you?
That's a good question. That stand out to me is just the fun, the fun that I bring. It's up tempo, and I also got some R&B stuff too. But it's like it's the up tempo, kicks hitting. Like I said, the bass line. Like I said, I just try to blend everything together and just be me. And I never forget. They did like this thing called Produce Me. Shout out Dub Dynamite, Figure 8, and all them. They did the Produce Me, and I never forget. About to go up there, I'm like, man, are they gonna like my music? Are they gonna like my beats? Are they gonna like it? Do people get up there freestyle? So just, I just like to I just like to have fun.
Yeah.
And my music reflects that. The beats reflect that. Everything all lines up together and come together in one instance and just like one big old boom, that hits you. So it's like I said, it's just some hard hitting, fun music.
Oh yeah. And then to wrap up the artist focus. This one's kind of a denser one, and it's almost like the opposite of that question. Like we've talked a lot about what music does for you, what comes from it, the actions, the reactions. But at the core, when you're sitting there, when you're making music, it's just you and the music. What do you feel it gives you the most?
clarity. It's therapy. My music is therapy for me, to whatever I'm going through, I just put it in the music, and just bring it, because it's just like I keep saying it's fun because it is, if you don't enjoy what you're doing, then why are you doing it?
Yeah.
So no, it brings me peace, and bringing peace to others, that's why I do this. Not just for me, but it's just for others, to get us together, all walks of life, and just have that moment, like it's therapeutic mainly,
Oh, yeah.
to be able to sit back and just block out everything and just put it into the music.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Well, thank you.
All right. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to some hypothetical questions.
Okay.
And these are all sky's the limits. There are no wrong answers because they're all made up. So feel free to have fun with these.
Okay.
And for this first one, pretty standard one. If you could work with any one person who's currently alive, and it could be anybody, who would you work with and how would you want to work with them?
Ooh. It's a lot of artists, I'm gonna be honest. But since we're gonna be specific, I'm gonna have to say Timberland.
Okay.
Just the dude who took a baby sound and made a hit out of it, so
Fair.
if we can figure that out, and but nah, I would say Timberland. He's one of those artists that made me look at production a little bit different, because it was different in that moment when he first came out, him and Missy and all them. So I think they changed that, the way that music kind of sounds. So yeah, Timberland. But nah, it's definitely a lot of artists, and that's me. I'm that artist. I want to collab with everybody,
I feel you.
And that's what I want to bring to the Portland scene,
Yeah.
whatever scene, not to sound negative. I think it's just a lot of crab in the bucket mentality. And I think we should all be able to collaborate with each other.
Gotcha.
And uplift each other, and me, it's like, I'm not worried about who's going to surpass me.
Yeah.
Or who's not, I just want to be able to say, hey, you love music just like I love music. Let's do music.
I think that's an interesting one because the mentality of you're going to surpass me.
Mm-hmm.
That's the barrier that needs to be broken. It's not a platform.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not a pedestal thing. It's not like if you do more of this, if you make more of that, if you have more of this, that you are more. Like your amount of something doesn't matter. The number of things that you get because of it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, that's kind of why that last question exists. It's about you in the room with the music.
Yes.
Are you inspiring? Man, I wish I could remember what Lambo said, but Lambo Lawson had a really good way of putting it. And I'm gonna butcher it brutally, but it was along the lines of like what you do should inspire people to do it too. Like if you're inspiring people, then you're doing the thing that's the most you.
Yeah. And I heard that a few times, and like I said, that means the world to me more than anything. And I know when it's genuine, and when people come up like, man, you leave it out there, whether you're on the floor or you're standing here, it makes me know that I could get up there and do it and bring my own type of me to it, So like I said, money can't buy that.
No.
And that's always people see, I'm like tap my heart because that, excuse me, that's what it means a lot to me, and that's like doubling back from earlier. It's like, I just want to just help each other. I want us to help each other, and elevate each other. It's not a competition. Everybody has their own lane to do what they want to do, and just extend it. If I get opportunity, best believe I'm gonna get an opportunity to somebody else to help them get to where they want to get to, because it's done like for me to sit back and see people enjoy themselves doing what they love to do. And that's what gets me. It's like, if that's what you like to do, then let's see you do it. Hey, you hear me going back to my toothpick guy. But if the toothpick person's up there making over to toothpicks and they enjoy it, excuse me, and I get to see that, you know what I'm saying? And that means a lot to me too, just like it's the little things for me, so and I just want to bring that to the scene that, hey, we're all in this together, we're family at the end of the day. We're all trying to uplift each other up and get each other to where we want to go and wherever that is. But let's just, help each other out.
Oh, yeah. And Toothpick Guy, if you ever want to be on the show,
holla, baby.
Everybody at a toothpick artist in the comments. Let's make it happen.
It's somebody right now practicing toothpicks in their living room, building statues and stuff.
All right. And then the original question, or the first question was, if you could work with anybody in the world, who would it be? Subsequently, who is a local artist that you're aware of that you haven't gotten to connect with yet, but you would like to?
Oh, that's a good question. It's so many.
Yeah, I mean, just whichever one pops up first. It doesn't have to be like the main one.
But you know what? I'm gonna double back on the love that he shot out to me. My boy Mello from the Fish.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know, he me, you know, in a prior interview and said that he would love to work with me. So it's the same thing, you know, with me, with him, and I've seen him at one show. So definitely look out for that in the future.
Oh, bet. Hell yeah. We'll see. Now it's happening. And then for this next one, literally sky is the limits. But if you could perform anywhere in the world and you wouldn't have to worry about crowd access, building stability, power, not guaranteed best show. It could be anywhere. It doesn't have to be a venue. Where would you want that to be?
Ooh, that Spirit in Vegas.
Okay.
I think U2 had a show there or something, and the way they had
the Sphere?
The Sphere,
the
the Sphere.
orb?
Yeah. Hey, if they could do that and just have all this funky stuff going on in the background, and you know me, like I said, it's all about experience. So if we could have that popping with a whole bunch of stuff going on in the background, the smoke and the lights and the glitter and, you know, the balls popping, everybody's dressed up as Funkavelli in the crowd. So yeah, it would definitely be there.
Hell yeah.
That'd definitely be there.
Hell yeah. All right. And then to wrap it up, if you could get one more album from anybody, alive or dead, anybody, who would you want one more album from right now?
Ooh, you got some good questions. That's what I'm talking about. I love that. That's what I'm talking about. I'll go back to Bob Marley.
Okay.
You know, I would love to hear him now. I would love to hear Rick James right now, you know. I would say Andre 3000, you know, but, you know, we getting flutes and stuff. So.
Hey, I mean, you know, I think since you're the first person to bring it up on the show actively, I just want to get my narrative on that out. I'm stealing this moment just for me real quick. I think the reason he put out the album was so that he could have that conversation because everybody wanted a rap album. He knew it. But then you heard that interview where he was, because clearly that came out right around the same time. It had to be there for a reason.
Yeah.
But his answer was so honest and so real. And it came from a person of such stature, such prominence, you know, on those pedestals that we create in the, that narrative that we were trying to dissolve earlier.
Yeah.
He is so high up there and so influential for him to go, I don't have that anymore. I love music. I don't have that music in me.
Yeah.
But I have this music. And this, you guys wanted me and music together. This is me and music together.
Now, yeah.
And that is so incredibly vulnerable. That is such an honest, like, true answer that just, like, it only made me respect him more. I'll be honest, I can't cover to cover the whole album.
Yeah.
I tried it. I made it to like 3 songs until the end, and I was like, all right, I have to stop. But he was so real about it that you just can't fault him.
And like I said, it's art.
Yeah.
That's what he feels, you know. And like you said, I you know, I was just skimming went through. I was like, okay, it's just the flutes and things, but hey, it might be a point of the day where I might want to go to bed or take a nap. Nothing against it, you know.
But
it
on. Yeah.
It's on, you know, it's soothing, you know, to each his own, you know. And that's what I was saying earlier. Everybody has their own lane.
Also, can you imagine how many like ambient house tracks and things like that are going to come from those?
Oh man,
the remixes are going to go crazy.
Elevator music, you know. I thought Drake had made you know, the elevator music, you know, he took it to a whole new level. Just imagine the concerts. The boys gonna be up there crisscross applesauce with a flute, and everybody's gonna be sitting there quiet with some incense light and some candles, you know.
Max capacity of like 100 people.
Yeah,
tickets sell out 2 years in advance.
Yeah, 2 years in advance. So, you know, kudos to him. You know, like I said, it's all about art. And if that's what you feel, and like you said, to be honest and say, I don't have that, you know, in me.
Well, I don't have what you're asking for.
Yeah.
This is what I have. And I want to share it with the people who want me to share. But this is what you're going to get. Like, this is me sharing. And you have to accept me for me. That's such a weird stance for an artist to take, especially now. Like, do you remember when Lil Wayne did his, like, rock album? Oof. That did, like, nobody loved it.
Yeah.
Nobody gave it, like, the diehard Lil Wayne fans were like, it's fine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even they, but like for somebody as well known as Andre 3000 to just be like,
and I get that, you know, and I sometimes tell artists, hey, whatever song that pops for you, make that song 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
Remix the remix, the remix.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's okay to step out and dibble and dabble and try to find new sounds. You never know, and yeah, you might get some reggae, funk, something from me. You might, like I said, I got R&B, funky stuff. So it's just like, as a fan, you just like, sometimes you want the artist to kind of step out there and try to be different, and be you, but hey, try to experiment. If it don't work, it don't work.
Mm-hmm.
But just stay at it, So like I said, that's the beauty about music,
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's so many genres, so many things, so many that you could just like, compare it to cooking, just like you can throw all your seasonings up in there and like, hey, this was too salty,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to try that next time, but at least you try,
Yeah,
so
at least you know.
At least it's like, it's better to do it than not to do it.
Oh, yeah.
In the first place.
Oh, yeah. All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start wrapping this up. Why don't you tell us what you have coming up in the future, say the beginning of 2024. Let's look at that like first quarter.
First quarter, working on music with Dub, my brother Dub Dynamite. Shout out Dub.
Shout out Dub Dynamite.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Oh, yeah. Working with him. I got another project I'm going to drop. Probably going to just drop it in like three songs at a time with a gentleman, Funkavelli. We're going to have Funk Fresh and Funkavelli. That's going to be called Funkavelli. Just, like I said, just ready to collab. Just continue to just bring that funk, and just have fun.
Love that. Mm-hmm. All right, and then for this next one, go ahead and look at the camera and tell everybody how they can find you.
You can find me at The Real Funkavelli on Instagram, Funkavelli on Facebook for all my old heads. No, I'm just joking. Everybody's still on Facebook, but it's at The Real Funkavelli on Instagram. Funk with me, I'll funk with you. That's how we get down, baby.
Oh, yeah. And then any other plugs, any other shout outs, anybody else you want to put on while you're on here?
Oh, shout out Mr. Jimmy Jam's Box for having me. Shout out to Fish. They've been showing me pretty much love, letting me get on their shows. My boy HP, the ruler. Now just shout out to all you artists out there. Keep doing what you're doing. Believe in yourself. Take things one day at a time. Good things don't happen overnight. Just put your heart into it and just stay at it. Like I said, one day at a time, and keep chipping away. Keep working on your catalog, and don't care what nobody say. Just do you and step out on that faith. When you see me out there, just holler at me, and I'm gonna holler back at you.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, now we've got one last question to go, but before we do, I'm gonna steal the camera for just a second. Mm-hmm. As always, y'all, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. I don't know where they are, but you do. And I trust you. And with that being said, the final question. And this one is obviously up to your interpretation, but what is an album that exists that you think everybody should know? Like if they were going to go listen to something right after this, what's one that like you were like, everybody should know this album?
Thriller.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say everybody knows that album.
Okay.
Let's lean into something a little bit more obscure.
Because some people don't know Thriller. Like who's that? But you're right. Who?
I mean, Thriller's a good answer. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna discredit your answer.
Thriller.
Let's go a little more deep cut.
Deep cut. What's a good album? No, I tell you, I just love music. It's so much. I hate you with some R&B music. But a good album that nobody, I think, has listened to. I think Thriller was the first one to come to mind. I would say, that's a good question. Hey, he got some good questions. I'm gonna put that out there. Hold on. Well, before we go, I'll let this. Subscribe. You know where it's at. I'd say the Rick James album, the one with Ghetto Life on there.
Okay.
It's like nice up tempo, just it's different. Like I said, I love different, Yeah. I think that's what stick out to me is different. So no, that has that good up tempo. But I'll go with that Rick James with Ghetto Life on there.
Hell yeah. All right, y'all, you know what to do. Go check it out. But we're going to go ahead and get up on out of here. This has been another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. I'm Jimmy.
And I'm Funkavelli, baby.
And we're signing off.
Signing off, baby.
That's a wrap. This is not a podcast. Keep jamming.